A powerful Arctic blast has descended upon northeastern Scotland, covering the city of Aberdeen and its surrounding areas in a thick blanket of snow. Over the past 48 hours, the region has experienced one of its most significant winter events in years. Cold air from the North Atlantic has clashed with moist coastal conditions, triggering steady and sometimes heavy snowfall across both urban and rural parts of Aberdeenshire. The conditions have been severe enough to prompt official weather warnings, major travel disruptions, and widespread closures. With temperatures dipping below freezing and snow continuing to fall, residents are being urged to take extreme caution and stay indoors unless absolutely necessary. Snowfall across the Aberdeen region has varied depending on elevation, but most areas have already reported between 2 to 6 inches of fresh snow. In higher ground areas above 650 feet, snow accumulation has exceeded 6 inches and may approach 8 inches as conditions persist. Temperatures are currently hovering near the freezing point, but with strong northerly winds, the real field temperature is significantly lower. The wind chill has made it feel closer to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, intensifying the cold and increasing the risks for those exposed to the elements. Roads, sidewalks, and open fields are now coated in snow and slick ice, making movement both difficult and dangerous. This winter storm has caused significant disruption across all forms of transportation. Major roads in and around Aberdeen, including key arteries and coastal routes, have become hazardous due to untreated surfaces and blowing snow. Authorities have reported multiple incidents of vehicles losing control, with emergency services stretched thin responding to weather-related accidents. Public transportation has also taken a hit. Rail services between Aberdeen and nearby cities such as Dundee and Inverness have been delayed or suspended as ice builds up on the tracks and key infrastructure freezes over. Meanwhile, Aberdeen International Airport has seen numerous flight delays and cancellations as runways are cleared and aircraft undergo de-icing procedures. Travelers have been advised to check with their carriers and avoid unnecessary journeys. In response to the worsening conditions, over 200 schools across Aberdeenshire have closed their doors, affecting tens of thousands of students and families. Local authorities have activated winter response plans, deploying snowplows and gridding trucks across key routes in an effort to keep the city moving. However, many side roads remain inaccessible. Public bus services have been scaled back, and delivery services across the region are experiencing delays. Postal routes in rural areas have been suspended entirely due to deep snow and poor visibility. For many residents, daily routines have come to a standstill, with businesses either closed or operating on reduced hours. Officials continue to urge citizens to stay home unless travel is absolutely essential. Meteorologists have issued an amber-level weather warning for the Aberdeen region, citing ongoing snow accumulation and high risk of ice formation overnight. This level of alert indicates a potential threat to life and property, especially for those traveling or living in remote areas. Emergency response teams have been placed on standby, while local councils have opened temporary warming centers for vulnerable residents, including the elderly and those without access to adequate heating. Officials are encouraging people to check in on neighbors and family members, particularly those living alone. People are also being reminded to keep mobile devices charged, stock up on essentials, and prepare for potential disruptions in power or communication networks should the weather worsen. While there have been no large-scale power outages reported so far, utility companies are on high alert. Snow and ice accumulating on overhead power lines and trees have raised concerns about possible damage in the coming days. Teams are actively monitoring the grid and have crews ready to respond quickly to any service interruptions. Emergency medical services have also issued advisories, warning residents of increased risk of injury from slips and falls. Frostbite and hypothermia are possible for those who remain outdoors for extended periods without proper clothing. Residents are being urged to wear multiple layers, use reflective gear if walking at night, and avoid any outdoor activity that isn't absolutely necessary. For those who must drive, carrying extra blankets, food, and water is strongly Forecasters are predicting that snow will continue to fall throughout Tuesday evening, with scattered snow showers lingering into Wednesday morning. The heaviest accumulation may taper off midweek, but cold temperatures are expected to persist, keeping road and surface conditions icy and treacherous. As another low-pressure system approaches from the Atlantic, there is growing concern that snow could return over the weekend, although confidence in the forecast remains low at this stage. Regardless of what lies ahead, the message remains clear. Aberdeen and its surrounding areas should brace for continued winter disruption. The economic effects of this snowstorm are already being felt throughout the city. Local shops, cafes, and small businesses have seen a dramatic drop in foot traffic, with many owners choosing to close temporarily due to staff shortages and unsafe conditions. Farmers and delivery companies report delays in transporting goods, especially fresh produce and essential supplies. For hourly workers and service employees, the disruption has meant missed shifts and lost income. While large chain stores and supermarkets are better equipped to handle short-term weather events, smaller businesses in Aberdeen are bracing for economic setbacks that could linger long after the snow melts. The city's Chamber of Commerce has urged customers to support local businesses online, or when conditions safely allow.